When the very first came out, I wanted to get the Cinta because obviously I am a huge archery main. And, you know, after a lot of farming, I managed to get, I think, one of those parts. So I decided I was going to just trade the other parts for plat. Turns out you can't trade the main blueprint. It's a bit weird. So, in the end, I never got the Cinta. Until recently. When I was making a mad push to get MR30, Cinta was, of course, one of those weapons that I just straight up bought from the in-game market. So, here we are. I've tried it. I've put around 4 former on it. And I don't think I like it. We're here in the simulacrum with Mag. Okay, let's go up against our usual folks. So, this weapon can hit pretty hard, even on a build that looks a little bit odd. Let's just say it's unusual. But, as you can see, it can still hit pretty hard. But notice how I'm just doing full charge shots. Because on a build like this, if I were to try to do the perfect shot, which, there we go. I feel like I'm not doing as much damage. But at the same time, with how many numbers pop up on the screen, maybe I am actually doing more damage? I can't tell. And that's why I feel like maybe either I'm not understanding this bow properly, or the bow really isn't performing as I like it. But it's not even really the damage of the bow that really gets me. It's more about like just the general way that the bow feels. I'll quickly show you the build that I'm using. It is a little bit unusual, actually. It's very unusual. This is the build that I have. It is a cold Puncture build, which of course makes no sense under old circumstances, but Puncture received a hilarious change whereby enemies that are affected by Puncture will take up to 25% additional critical chance on their damage, which is just absolutely fantastic. And then on top of that, we also have an effect to cold, whereby enemies affected by cold will take up to 50% more critical damage. So that's the idea behind this build. The rest of this build should be pretty straightforward. Serration, because I'm using longbow sharp shot. Galv scope, Galv chamber, that's those two there. Gundition overload, crit mods, and prime shred. And the reason why I wanted to use prime shred is because I feel like this weapon without a fire rate mod is way too slow. And even with the build like this, as you can see, it was alright, but okay, whatever. And if we were to use a normal, I guess more normal mainstream build like this kind of build, just straightforward viral shenanigans, yeah, I'm not entirely sure it's all that great. Same enemies and all that jazz. My Pensive Orb of Fire is dead, but that's okay, it's a Pensive Orb of Fire. I mean, yeah, it does a lot of damage. But notice how long the draw speed is. I think, in the end, that is what's getting me. Is how long this draw speed is. And then if I use the perfect shot, notice how I take way more arrows to kill these corrupted heavy gunners than if I were to just use one normal charge shot. Or fully charged shot, anyway. I've taken this weapon into missions. I've taken this weapon to fight just all sorts of enemies, and yeah, it just, I don't know, it really is that longer drawing time that just does not make this weapon feel all that good to me. But, okay, longer draw time is great for the perfect shot, right? Well, as we just saw in the demonstrations, the perfect shot does seem to do less damage than just a fully charged shot. Maybe it's because the perfect shot is an AoE, maybe that's how you can sort of get away with it, but either way, if we have a look at the actual stats of the Cinta, the perfect shot has a lower crit chance, like a much lower crit chance, lower crit multiplier, like a pretty significantly lower crit multiplier at base, and it also has slightly more status chance. Also, you lose the slash and puncture procs, and you have nothing but heat procs at base, which is fine if you're just playing the viral builds, because you end up going viral heat, and that's always a good combination. But if you're going for like the aforementioned cold puncture build, for example, you lose the cold procs. They become blast procs, and that's evidently not that useful, because the perfect shot already has some baked in crowd control, so the blast procs don't add anything to it. And they don't exactly do anything interesting either. They do reduce enemy accuracy, but who the hell cares about that? What do you think? Let me know in the comments how you're using the Cinta. Maybe I am just genuinely missing something, or maybe I'm not appreciating the AoE nature of the perfect shot, I guess, or maybe there's something else that I'm missing that is probably really, really obvious, and yet for some reason I am just not seeing it. Let me know in the comments. I don't think it's also because of the fact that the Cinta is at the present moment by definition an early game bow, and therefore isn't as strong as, let's say, some late game bows like, I guess, later game bows like Nataruk, or even some, I guess, mid game bows like Cernos Prime. Because even if that's the case, keep in mind I'm a huge fan of another very early game bow by the name of the Paris Prime, and also the Mark I Paris. So I don't think it's necessarily just, oh my god, don't worry, it's just a new player bow, you'll get the Nataruk eventually if you just started. I don't think it's that. I feel like there's just it's just something about this bow that just doesn't feel right, and that thing to me is just the longer draw time. It feels even longer than the Daikyu. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Simple. Let it be known, if the Tenor wants true salvation, then we'll lay down their arms and wait for the baptism of my Yanis King. The Tenor are lost, and they will resist. But I, War, will cleanse this place of their impurity. This death is temporary.